Hi, I'm Olga, and today I want to share with you my favorite recipe for pickled vegetables. Everybody who tries this recipe always loves it from the first bite. This is the jar of already ready-made veggies like this that I have in the refrigerator. It's about 2 weeks old, so it's fully mature and absolutely delicious. And this I put some in the bowl to show you. They're dark purple because of the beets. But we also have cauliflower here, carrots, beets, of course, garlic and ginger. And of course some pickling spice and salt and water. Let's get into the recipe. So now I laid out all the veggies here to show you what we're going to be working with. I take about equal amounts of cauliflower. My kids love cauliflower in there, so I'm going to use probably all of it. Beets, carrots, garlic and ginger. You don't need a lot of ginger, small piece. And of course we need sea salt. It's better to use salt, sea salt versus iodized salt. And I will need clean jars. I'm probably gonna have to use another jar like this, I'm gonna see. And pickling spice is optional. It will turn out just as beautiful without any spices in there. And we need clean filtered water, bottled if you don't have filtered water. And I'm going to use a mixing bowl to mix everything here. Now I'm going to take everything to the sink and get it cleaned up and prepped. Even though I always wash all my equipment before putting it away for storage after using, immediately before I'm going to start pickling, I will always wash with hot water and soap all my jars and pickling weights and the covers, just to make sure there is no bacteria that can mess with the process of pickling. And of course all the equipment that I'm going to be using, a cutting board, a knife and the mixing bowl, everything needs to be freshly cleaned. The jars and the weights and the covers are freshly washed. Now for the messy part, the veggies. I rinse everything off after I peel it. Then I'm gonna cut off the peels, of course. Beets are very steamy, so I'm putting them in the bowl. Alright, so I'm cutting the cauliflower into small bite-sized pieces, so they're pickle faster and they're easy to eat after. All right, now carrots. I'm gonna leave beets for later because they are the messy ones. They're gonna make my hands look pink. I cut carrots into these kind of like sideways slices. This way there. You can tell that it's a carrot when you're eating it in the mix. And they're still bite sizes. Ginger I cut into small pieces because they're kind of spicy. When you bite into them, they taste spicy. So if you don't like them too spicy but you still want taste of ginger, cut them into a little bit smaller pieces like this. But garlic I usually try to cut into thin slices. It does not taste spicy. Garlic actually tastes really good pickled. If you never tried pickled garlic, I highly suggest that you try it because it's delicious. So this is garlic. And now I'm going to cut the beets. They're the messiest ones. My hands are gonna be pink. You can use gloves if you want, but I really don't care. It's gonna wash off once I wash the dishes. I usually like to cut it into, I'll show you now, straw pieces, kind of. This way I can tell in the mix when it's pickled and everything is one color. I can tell them apart which ones are beets and which ones are carrots. So look, I cut them slices like this and then so it makes like pieces like this. Now all the veggies are cut up in a mixing bowl, and I'm going to mix them so they're just even. So we're gonna making a lot of noise with this microphone and the metal bowl. Sorry for the noise. All the veggies are mixed and they're ready to go into the jars. Now the fun part. I'm gonna load all the veggies into the jars. I use a funnel, just makes it easier. In between the layers of veggies, I'm gonna add some pickling spice, just a little bit. Here I have a mix of coriander and mustard seed and some bay leaf, some peppers. But it's optional in this recipe to use pickling spice. In fact, some people don't even like the taste of them, so you can easily skip them and just go with whatever veggies are here and salt. Now look, it's important that you try to shake the veggies a little bit so they can settle in there and make more room. How beautiful does that look? We want to leave some room here to put the weight, and we're still gonna put the liquid in here, so make sure that you have enough room. I'm actually gonna bang it a little bit, the jar, once I shut off the camera so I don't make noise. So in the second mix I actually ended up with more beets and carrots and less cauliflower. All the cauliflower ended up being in the first jar for the most part. It's okay. I'll tell my daughter that she can have from that jar all the cauliflower she wants. I'm happy when my kids eat veggies. I have both jars full and I have a little bit of veggies left over. It's not enough to start another jar, so I'm just gonna keep these veggies and roast them in air fryer with a little bit of avocado oil, and that's gonna be my lunch. We're almost done with the veggies. The last part is to make the brine. I estimate that here I'm going to use about 2 quarts of liquid. This is a 1.5 liter jar and this is 1 liter jar. So it's about 2.5 quarts, right? So for each liter or quart of water, you need about 1.5 tablespoons of salt. You can use a little bit less, like a tablespoon of salt per liter if you are using a starter. We're going to talk about it in a second to start you. So here I'm going to make a brine enough for about 2 liters, because this measuring cup is 2 liters and I'm almost running out of salt. So about 2 tablespoons of salt, and I'm going to use a little bit of hot water to start salt melting, because salt sometimes takes time to melt. And once it's dissolved, I'm gonna add cold filtered water. So I'm mixing the salt even with hot water, you see, because it's a small, it's gonna dissolve the rest of it once we add more water, but water can take just that much salt to be fully dissolved. And then I'm gonna add from the faucet, I have a filter right built into the faucet, cold filtered water. Alright, so now all the salt is dissolved there anyway. So your pickled veg, especially if you use cauliflower in here, will pickle on their own. The lactobacillus bacteria will develop there and pickle all the veggies. But if you want the process to be controlled and want to make sure that the right bacteria will take part in it there, you can use a starter. There are 2 options that I use sometimes as a starter. I can use whey when I strain yogurt to make Greek yogurt, the liquid, the whey, you can use like a quarter cup for 1.5 liters or a few tablespoons of it right into the brine or directly into the veggies, and it will give that bacteria to start the process of fermentation. But you can also use a probiotic. I use Superflora by Coral Club, but you have to be careful. This is a very powerful probiotic. I made that mistake before where I added a whole capsule of it, and my veggies started to pickle so fast and they became soft and mushy because the bacteria was starving in there. It started to grow, and it actually made the veggies like almost cooked, not crunchy. So you have to use, if you use it, just a little bit of it, because it's a very powerful. You can use any probiotic that you have in the house as long as it has 2 bacteria in there, Lactobacillus acidophilus and Bifidobacterium longum, and this probiotic consists of these 2 ones. So here, because I do have whey, I'm gonna add whey to my veggies. I'm gonna add it directly there. Spilling a little bit, not very photogenic. It's a bigger jar. I'm gonna use 3 tablespoons. This is my starter, and now I'm gonna fill these jars with the brine that we made with salt. Again, spilling. I better have a towel next to me. Okay, you see the bubbles are coming out there, all the air escaping. Okay, I kind of overfilled that one. Obviously I made a little bit too much brine, but that's okay. I'll just discard this salt water, not a big loss. Almost finished working on it. So once they start fermenting, the liquid on here, I overfilled the jar, so it's gonna start spilling out as soon as I put the weight in it. I put bowls right under the jars to catch all the liquid that will be coming out. So now, it's gonna be actually coming out. I'm gonna add the weight to cover it. Yes, I did overfill it, so it's spilling out. And I'm gonna add the weight here. And I'm gonna cover this with the cover just to prevent the dust from the window coming in there. So it's full, but it's better like this. Now I'm gonna keep these things on the counter away from direct sunlight. I set up this corner of my kitchen, especially for my fermented veggies. I'm fermenting here because they're away from the direct sunlight here. How beautiful does that look? Now these veggies are gonna stay in this corner for about 5 days until they will be ready to eat. But the pickling process continues even after you put the veggies into the fridge, and it is fully mature at about 2 weeks. But you can start eating them at about 5 days, 7 days if the temperature of your house is below 70 degrees or around 70. The warmer the temperature is, hopefully you don't have the house over 80 degrees, but usually pickling temperature perfect is about 75 degrees. And they're gonna be ready. I'm gonna try to show you the process. As you can see, the color is still here. You can see all the veggies, but once it's ready, it becomes all beautiful purple. And another important note about the brine. The brine in these pickled veggies is delicious, and you should not discard it in any way, like you do with pickling brine sometimes and stuff, because this is full of nutrients and it's very delicious to either drink it on its own or use it in your salad, add it to as part of your dressing, add it to your cooking. It's absolutely delicious and full of probiotics. So I drink it straight from the glass like this, and I really enjoy it. To your health. I got some veggies in there. I didn't separate them, so I'm eating and drinking at the same time. It's delicious. Now I have a purple mustache. Purple hands, purple mustache. I'm all good. So I have a little update on our fermented veggies. I pickled them yesterday morning, so it's about maybe close to 36 hours that they've been fermenting, a little bit less. And you see the color is still kind of pinkish, but it's getting, and I didn't touch them since yesterday. But I wanted to show that number one, you see there's liquid already in the both bowls. You see the bubbles that are coming out? That means that the bacteria that feeds on air, usually it's a bad bacteria, is getting pushed out by the developing lactic acid bacteria. Anaerobic bacteria, I should say. And so, looks good. You see all those bubbles jumping out? I love watching it. It's like watching an aquarium with fish. Very satisfying. I'm gonna cover it back. We'll wait a few more days. This is our fermented veggies 72 hours after we first started them. As you can see, the color is becoming very deep pink, purplish color. And the bubbles are still coming out. I can still see bubbles. But it's slowing down the process. I don't see any more much leakage here because the color of the liquid is still the same as it was initially. So we're gonna wait a few more days until we're gonna try them. Same in these jars. I opened it. You see the bubbles are coming out because I moved it just a little bit. I see some yeast are starting to form here. This is calm yeast. That is normal for pickling veggies. I need to move it around to disturb it, but it's gonna form there anyway. You see, you can see the gifts on the yeast from here. It's been exactly a week since we started our fermented veggies. They're still sitting on the counter in the same corner. I already removed the bowls because they stopped, the liquid stopped coming out, and because it was attracting some fruit flies, and we're gonna check on them now. So I put a towel here to catch any messes, and we're gonna open. You see the weight still there. I'm gonna take it out. Look, everything looks clean and beautiful. And it smells really good. It smells like good pickled veggies. The brine looks good. This is what's supposed to be. If your pickled veggies or any kind of fermentation does not smell good or something seems off, throw it out. You don't want to be dealing with health consequences of any ferments going bad. Use your senses. Next thing I want to do, I want to check the pH of my fermentation. So I'm going to put the pH tester in here. I can't see. Is it reaching? You see the liquid pH is dropping below 3. That's where we want it. We actually want it to be around 3.5 at least. So let's see if it's gonna drop. It takes some time. So we are right around there. It's changing between 351 and 352, but I think it stopped at 351, which is perfect. This is what we want to see. Now it's dropping between 350 and 351, but as long as it's below 4, that's means that it's a good brine and it's already safe to eat. Now I want to look at the, you see the colors of everything. I'm gonna take out a few things and give them a taste test. It smells a little bit garlicky and a little bit like fermented, pickled. All right, I need to put the camera down so I can use 2 hands to take this out. So here we are. You see the deep purple color for everything, but you can still see the carrot. The beet actually looks more translucent now because it lost all its color, gave it to the other veggies. and the cauliflower looks like a purple cauliflower now. But the longer it will stay, the more it will give the purple color to the veggies, so the color becomes even deeper with time. So I'm gonna give them a taste test. I'll start with the carrot. It's still hard and crunchy, a little bit sour, pretty good. It feels like it needed a little bit more salt, to be honest with you. I was on the stingy side, but I think I should have put like closer to 1.5 teaspoons of salt per liter of water. I'm gonna taste the what is it, beet? Also crunchy. The longer they stay in the refrigerator, the softer they become. They don't become fully soft like cooked, but they do become softer a little bit. This is still on the crunchy side. Very good. And cauliflower. Delicious. Cauliflower pickles the first, and it's delicious. It's soft now and still crunchy. It has a little bite to it, like I taste a little bit of ginger in there, a little bit of garlic, and it's nicely kind of pickled, so it's very good. We'll consider this as a very successful ferment. This recipe I've done already multiple times. I shared this recipe with my mom, and now she makes it all the time. She loves drinking the juice from it, the brine, and eating the vegetables, so it became a staple in my parents' house as well, and we love it. I highly recommend that you try it. I'm still gonna keep this maybe for another 2 days on the counter, and then I'm gonna keep it in the refrigerator after that. You need to taste it and see what it tastes like, what it looks like, for you to decide whether it's ready for the refrigerator. It can stay up to 2 weeks on the counter as it matures and becomes more pickled. I really hope that you try this recipe. I hope you like the way I showed you how I ferment everything and all the details. I hope you click like on my video, subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. I'm gonna finish this, eating this before I put this away. I'm gonna put the weight back in there, but I take out the weights because I need to use them for other ferments before I put them the jars in the refrigerator. This cauliflower is delicious. I don't know if you can hear it, but how crunchy it is in my mouth. Excuse me eating like a savage with my hands, but it's delicious.